I've been a die-hard fan of Zorro since I was a little boy. For years, I have dreamt of just an epic in-scope Zorro video game. A sort of open-world amalgamation of Uncharted, Tomb Raider, and the original Red Dead Redemption, where our fearless hero Diego de la Vega rides, swings, and fights through unwinnable odds to free California from the tyranny of Spain. Well, let me say right up front, fellow gamers, this is not that Zorro game.
It certainly does suck.
This is a game that, by all rights, should not even exist, and yet here it sits in my hands. I have spent several hours with it now. It is not a figment of my imagination. It is real. Real mediocre. Let's just talk about the story first, shall we? That's going to be a bit tricky, really, and let me explain why. You see, there is no story. None. At all. I'm not kidding. Zero story. You have one opening cinematic, and each level has one line of text explaining what the goal of the mission is, and that is it. Why is it like that, Seventh, you might ask? Well, I'm very glad you asked that, nameless person on the other side of the monitor. It's because this game is actually a licensed tie-in for a 10-year-old French CG animated kids show entitled, you guessed it, Zorro the Chronicles. Apparently, the designers of this game felt it would just be swept up by the millions
and millions
of the show's French fans who would already be intimately familiar with both the plot and characters in every episode, so they just didn't bother to create any. Not even clips from the show outside of the aforementioned opening cinematic. That's all you get.
Is there nothing more?
And yeah, you heard me right. I did say 10 years. The show ran from 2015 to 2016. So Seventh, you might further ask, why is this game just coming out now? Well, I'll tell you what, nameless person on the other side of the monitor, I have no damn clue. I initially thought it was a re-release of a game on the Wii, but no, that's a totally different game from a totally different studio called The Destiny of Zorro, which is even worse than this one is. So, yeah, the show came out in France in 2015, was shown all over Europe, only lasted a year, and then in 2022, the game just magically appeared on Switch, Steam, Xbox One, Xbox Series, PS4, and PS5. So yeah, the only way for you to have any clue what's going on is to have previously watched every episode of a French cartoon never released in the States that's based on a Mexican hero invented by an American white guy.
You got that?
So the graphics look like an upscaled Wii game running widescreen at 60 frames per second. I have watched clips of the show on YouTube, and yeah, this is what it looks like, alright. It's not exactly Pixar quality here, but about what you'd expect a game based on this show to look like.
The legend has returned!
The music is about what you'd expect from a Zorro game that had a $0 budget. That's really the best I can say about it in that regard. Now, for the gameplay. There's no other way to say this. This is Arkham Asylum for 8-year-olds. That being said, I seriously doubt there's more than 10,000 8-year-olds in the United States who even know who Zorro is. So I'm unsure who the publisher Nacon thought was going to buy this thing. The gameplay isn't completely broken, mind you. It functions for the most part, aside from problems with the camera rarely wanting to be exactly where you want it to be, but it wants you to sneak around and avoid detection, take out Spanish soldiers from high above, you know, the usual Batman stuff, but also while hunting for collectibles, painting wanted posters, and so on. But to be honest, you can easily complete every level by just running in, sword drawn, and Arkham Asyluming that shit, taking on multiple guys at once, dodging, parrying, and pulling off mildly humorous finishing moves. And that's about all there is to it. And like I said, it works marginally well for what it is. The controls could be tighter. I guess there's one nice thing that for all the 8-year-old US girls out there who love Zorro, you can play as De La Vega's best friend who also dresses up in the Zorro costume. I suppose that's a perk that makes it better, maybe? Look, okay, the game isn't totally offensive. And yeah, I guess I am biased because I'm, as I said before, a huge fan of Zorro, and I wanted something more along the lines of the Mad Max video game from last generation, and not this bargain bin kiddie fare. But then I also have to consider the fact that this is a licensed kids game based on a hero that most kids in its targeted age range are going to look at and say, why is Batman riding a horse and looks so funny?
And now is the time for you to pay your taxes. Everything. All of it.
Big shocker here, Zorro the Chronicles gets a 3 out of 7.